This is Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on Viking athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Enjoy the action and excitement of NCAA Division II athletics at Augustana.
Augustana Sports Flashback is brought to you by Schoenemann's. Last weekend was a great one for Coach Brandon Barkas's Augustana women's soccer team. The Vikings picked up 2 home victories as they edged Nebraska Kearney 2-1 and rolled over Minnesota Crookston 3-0. In the win over Kearney, Maren Worth and Jessie Huff kicked in goals for the Augustana ladies. Huff and Kate Timmons added assists for the Vikings, and goalkeeper Amanda Wagner made 6 saves. In the Crookston game, Alicia Olerking, Peyton Pry, and Kate Simmons connected on goals for Augustana. Prior to the game, Augustana alumni Kent and Judy Morstead were recognized for their generous gift to name the Vikings' beautiful on-campus soccer facility Morstead Field. In volleyball, Coach Ashley Buckley's team improved their record to 6-2 on the season as they picked up 4 victories at the MSU Moorhead Classic. In Friday action, the Vikings knocked off Minnesota Crookston and Minot State, both by scores of 3-0. In the Crookston match, Holly Halfmeyer led the team with 8 kills, while Kayla Walrick tallied 26 assists and 14 digs. Christine Bielski added 13 digs for the Vikings. In the Minot State match, Jordan Spatanka led the way with 12 kills. On Saturday, Augustana continued their strong play as they defeated St. Cloud State 3-0 and MSU Moorhead 3-1. In the St. Cloud match, Jordan Spatanka paced the Vikings with 14 kills, with Christine Bielski picking up 15 digs. In the win over MSU Moorhead, Jordan Spatanka had 15 kills, Lindsay Peterson 13, and Brooke Luco and Holly Halfmeyer 10. Kayla Walrick dished out 47 set assists, with Christine Bielski leading the way in digs with 24. In football, Coach Mike Aldrich's team came out on the short end of a 30-27 overtime game with Bemidji State at Kirkby Over Stadium. After the Beavers scored first, the Vikings came back to tally on a 45-yard fumble recovery by Dan O'Keefe. Bemidji kicked a 21-yard field goal to take a 10-7 lead at halftime. Augustana tied the score on a 20-yard third-quarter field goal by Drew Behrens and went up 17-10 on an early fourth-quarter 2-yard run by Nate Mahone. But BSU came back for 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to take a 24-17 lead. The Vikings came right back after that, however, to force overtime when they scored on a 9-yard pass from Josh Hansen to Sam Holson with under a minute to play. In overtime, a 20-yard run by Nate Mahone set the Vikings up with a 1st and goal at the Beavers' 5-yard line. But Augustana had to settle for a field goal, and when BSU got the ball, they marched into score to claim the 30-27 win. Josh Hansen completed 23 of 42 passes for 301 yards, with Sam Holson catching 6 and Noah Huseman 5. Defensive leaders were Austin Lukey with 15 tackles and Nick Andres with 14. Andres also added an interception. And in women's golf, Coach Peggy Kirby's team won a Labor Day triangular at Baker Crossing Golf Course. Emily Kivdera shot a 2-over par 73 to capture medalist honors. That's our sports update for this week. When we come back, we'll talk Augustana football with Coach Mike Aldrich. Stay with us.
Augustana Sportscene is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition. By Schoenemann's, your trusted building center since 1888. And by Mid-Continent Communications, part of your community.
When I was young, I loved helping my grandfather with projects. From building a birdhouse to odd jobs around the house, we always got our supplies from Schoenemann's. I remember the smell of the fresh-cut lumber and all the bins full of nails, nuts, and bolts. Today, my projects are a bit bigger, and so is Schoenemann's selection. I rely on them for everything I need.
Schoenemann's in Sioux Falls and Harrisburg. Expert advice, everything you need.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. For exceptional values on the Audi A4, visit your local dealer today.
You may have met one. The teachers who challenge. The ones who motivate. The ones who can fire imagination. The ones, in short, that you'll find at Augustana. Now, maybe you don't believe that one college could have so many great professors. If so, you're in for an education. Augustana.
Hi, I'm Chad Greenway of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm a big fan of how youth sports can help kids stay physically fit. But as an athlete and a parent, I'm also very concerned about safety. Millions of sports-related concussions happen every year, and many go unrecognized. That's alarming because the wrong treatment can slow recovery, worsen the condition, or lead to permanent damage. Please learn the facts about concussions and help protect our young athletes.
To learn more, visit sanfordhealth.org/headsup.
The Augustana Football Report is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Joining me now is Augustana head football coach Mike Aldrich. Well, Mike, on Saturday afternoon, the Vikings took on Bemidji State. It was a game that the Vikings felt like they could win, but doggone, too many mistakes. Things slipped away from us, and we lost in overtime.
Well, it's our second game in a row that we could have won, and but I won't say that we should have won because we've made too many mistakes. And I think this team is still trying to find its personality a little bit, and trying to find its leadership needs to rise to the top here pretty quick to help us coaches with the rest of the team as far as clearing up some of these mental mistakes that we keep making.
Yeah, well, the game went on and had its bright spots in it for the Vikings, but then there were the mistakes that kind of shot us in the foot. Let's break the game down first. Let's talk about the offense.
Well, you know, unfortunately we spent probably the first quarter and a half trying to reverse a field position game, and our offense was continually starting with the ball inside the 10-yard line, and when you get the ball back in there, I mean, you're just trying to get enough room to punt the ball out. So it kept going back and forth for, you know, pretty much the entire first half, and for us to get off the field only down 10-7 with the way our field position was, I felt good about that. But you know, we were plagued offensively again here for the second week in a row of just not finishing our drives. We'd get down to the 5-yard line and we'd get a false start penalty, or we would get a chop block penalty, or we'd get a delay of game penalty, something along those lines. So we continually, the best defense that we face all year so far is our offense.
Yeah, well, it's disappointing, and you know, the best news is it's a long season. You know, we're 2 games in. There's the things that we can correct, so that's back to work. Let's go to defense.
Well, defensively, you know, we played the run real well for the most part. You know, the problem with the defense this week was we were on the field for 19 minutes of the first half, and it was about 95 degrees down the field, and it was hot, and our guys were getting pretty fatigued. Cramping started to kind of rear its ugly head there around halftime. So that second half, we were playing, you know, our defense was playing tired, and they were kind of getting moved around a little bit. And not so much even that. It's once you start getting hot and tired, then mentally you start to lose some of your focus. So any big play, there would maybe be, I would say, 4 big plays in the game offensively for Bemidji, and all 4 of them was somebody had a blown coverage or a breakdown in assignment, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to fatigue.
Yeah. Well, again, Bemidji made the plays and won the game, but how about special teams?
Special teams was also an Achilles heel for us again. I mean, we had a field goal blocked early, and we had a lot of pressure put on us. I think the referees missed a little bit of some of their jumping over the top on our field goal blocks, and got to the point where I actually considered not kicking another field goal the rest of the game. But we had to do that. We had to give Drew Behrens a chance to put points on the board for us, and second half we did a good job there. Our kickoff coverage wasn't very good, so we started to squib the ball a little bit. That helped us. Our kick returns were there, and we again had a good day on kick returns, other than we get some penalties, and then that would drive us back. So our special teams were definitely not immune to our mental mistakes either.
Well, it's good old coaching time, Mike. These are really the times when it's a gut check, and you know, you got to put things back together. So what's your plan for your team this week?
Well, we talked to them about, you know, the biggest thing is that our discipline isn't there, and the thing we worked hard on in the off season and all through fall camp with our SEAL training and everything was discipline. And once we get out onto the game field, the discipline kind of goes out the window. So we got to get our focus back onto that. We got to get back into our student athletes preparing for a game instead of just allowing the coaches to prepare and then they just show up on game day. So we just got to get back to those guys understanding that there's a responsibility for them too to put themselves in position to win a football game.
Well, this week it's on the road for the first time out to the University of Mary in Bismarck. What do you expect?
Well, Mary, they had a great come from behind win their first week against Chadron State, which was a big win for their program. And then yesterday they got beat in the last minute by Southwest State in a looked like a shootout over there in Marshall. So we're expecting an offense that's going to throw the ball around a lot. They showed glimpses of that against us last year. Their quarterback's got more experience, so it's going to definitely be an offensive fireworks show, and it's just going to be a matter of both of our defenses to try to clamp it down.
Well, Mike, it's back at it this week, so get the Vikings ready and good luck at Mary.
I appreciate that.
The Augustana Volleyball Report is next. We'll be right back.
My eye was a tumor and it hurts in my head and it's right here. I have 3 favorite colors, red, pink, and purple. I like to draw fairies, princesses, and clothes. I want to be, when I grow up, a clothes modeler. It models clothes. This is my victory.
How do you hold a moment? Keep friends and family close. Witness the passage of time. Replay the glory days. Relive magical nights. Create memories to share. How do you capture a lifetime? One picture at a time. Life Touch. Photography for a lifetime.
Here's to all you crazies. You, the hometown diehards, the fanatics. That's what a fan is, after all. You live or die by what happens on the field, on the court, and in your heart every time your team plays. So, let your freak flag fly. We're here for you. Midco Sportsnet. This is how we do sports.
The Augustana Volleyball Report is brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications.
With me now is Augustana volleyball coach Ashley Buckley. Ashley, since the last time we visited, the Vikings are off and rolling here, have played thus far 8 matches on the season. We're 6-2. Let's back up a little bit. Talk about the Omaha tournament first that you played in a week ago.
We came out pretty strong in our first match against Southeastern Oklahoma State. Played really well, beat the team in 3. I thought offensively we looked great. We have some big players in the front row for us. Our back row was in system, and when we've got 2 or 3 hitters that can continually put the ball away, it makes for a really exciting match, a lot of one-on-one opportunities. So I thought we executed very well. Went on to play Arkansas Fort Smith, who is a very good team. They ran a very fast tempo offense, and we just couldn't seem to get ourselves into a rhythm, had a lot of unforced errors against them, and quite frankly they were the better team that evening. Rallied back the next morning, beat Northwestern Missouri State in 4, and they're a very good team. I think that they'll do really well in their conference this year. And then ended the tournament with a loss to UNK, but 26-24 was our first set, so we rallied hard. And again, with all the changes that we've had and all the injuries that we've had, I thought that we showed signs of improvement throughout the weekend, definitely understood what we needed to work on going into the second weekend.
Well, that first weekend proved to be a little costly. Again, the Vikings had already lost Grace Sanders, and then Danny Haley went down also. Yeah, so this weekend, when we were up in Moorhead, we had Kayla Walrick step in and set, and she did a phenomenal job with our offense. We thought she did a great job distributing the ball. She's an excellent defender for us, very fast. So, the strengths of having her lead our offense is that she gets to the ball very quickly and right now is making very good decisions. So, it's one loss, but the team's rallied hard. They found ways to win this weekend, and I was just impressed with their maturity and their determination to win. Well, this past weekend, the Vikings played, as Ashley mentioned, up at the MSU Moorhead tournament, 4 matches, 4 wins for the Vikings. Let's kind of take them in order, Ashley. First, you had Minnesota Crookston.
Yep, Minnesota Crookston has a really good outside right now, and we talked a lot about her and how we wanted to defend her. I thought we did a phenomenal job stopping her on the outside. We served them out of system, which was really nice, but they're a much improved team that they're playing well, and so that was a good win for us again, having just a different lineup for 2 days. I thought that we rallied hard, and again, it was just a good win for us. Our second game, we played Minot State, and again, just we're in control of the whole match. We served them out of system, which is very important for us. Our serve-receive was in system. Defensively, we were scrappy, and offensively dominated the game, so we kept them to low scores. St. Cloud we knew would be a good team. They obviously played Moorhead very tight the night before. But again, we rallied hard. We were in control of the match. And the most impressive thing was in the third set, coming back from a 21-24 deficit. We rallied and rattled off 5 points in a row to win the match. And it's just exciting to see the personality of this team really emerge. These guys are fighters. These guys are playing hard and have a high level of energy too. Mm-hmm. And we saw that against Moorhead. First 2 sets, we were really sharp. Moorhead came alive. They beat us in the serve-receive game in the third and fourth set. But again, offensively, we had enough weapons. Jordan Spatank on the outside was phenomenal. Lindsay Peterson did a great job for us offensively, defensively. Christine Bielski had 24 digs in the backcourt. So again, just an overall great team effort. Michaela Gallagher on the right side held her own too. So, we came out with a win, and that's what we were looking to do this weekend, is have a 4-0 weekend.
Well, it was a phenomenal weekend, only losing 1 game in those 4 matches. And the Vikings now jump into NSIC play. Talk about what's ahead.
The NSIC will be as tough as ever. This weekend we play Upper Iowa and Winona. It's going to be a great match. We see Upper Iowa improving by the year. Winona just beat Duluth this past weekend, so we understand that they are a good serve-receive team, but offensively they're very balanced, and they run a quick tempo offense, very similar to us, where they have a lot of people scoring points for them. So we're going to have our challenges ahead of us, but we'll take some time early in this week to work on some things from this past weekend, and then move forward to Upper Iowa, Winona. And I think by the end of the week we'll feel prepared. We'll feel a little bit more in rhythm having the team together for a couple more days, and we're excited. We're ready to go, and obviously we feel good coming off of a great weekend.
Well, Ashley, good luck as you start the NSIC season.
Thank you.
Up next, Augie Sports Focus. Stay with us.
Why do you play? Why go through all the pain? The endless practices? For the victories? For the joy of playing the game? Or do you play for something even greater? If you already know the answer, we're the network for you. Midco Sportsnet. This is how we do sports.
I was half the person I used to be, literally. I knew that if I didn't have the strength that I'd back in my body, I'd never be able to ride my Harley again, and that was one of my other goals I had, was to be able to get back on the bike. Just being able to get out and experience, the area and the surroundings on the back of a bike is so much different than being in a car. You can smell the smells as you drive through, you can hear the sounds. It's just great. This is my victory.
When I was young, I loved helping my grandfather with projects. From building a birdhouse to odd jobs around the house, we always got our supplies from Schoenemann's. I remember the smell of the fresh cut lumber and all the bins full of nails, nuts, and bolts. Today, my projects are a bit bigger, and so is Schoenemann's selection. I rely on them for everything I need.
Schoenemann's in Sioux Falls and Harrisburg. Expert advice, everything you need.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
Augie Sports Focus is brought to you by Schoenemann's.
Joining me now is Augustana women's soccer coach Brandon Barkas. Brandon, great to have you back on Augustana Sportscene. Before we start talking about the ladies on our soccer program, we had a great day here yesterday at Augustana as we recognized Kent and Judy Morstead and their family for their outstanding gift to name Morstead Field. Talk a little bit about that excitement.
Kent and Judy, you're amazing, amazing. It was awesome. It was really, really neat. We opened the field 2 years ago without a namesake, as you know, and then Kent and Judy, a couple graduates, recent graduates of Augustana, and they made a huge contribution. And I'll tell you what, it's really going to put soccer over the top now. And it was amazing. Plus, it was a Shriners Day, and so there was a ton of Shriners, and Kent's really involved with that, and Judy's just an amazing woman, and their whole family was there. It was just really nice. And then the energy they brought and how positive it was really contagious to the rest of the team. And I'm a big believer in that. You can get negative, and you have a couple losses, and that's contagious. You get some wins, and you get some positive energy, and that's contagious. And Kent and Judy really kicked it off for us, so that was awesome.
Yeah, great momentum for the day. Well, let's back up, Brandon. We were 4 games into the season here. The Vikings started out going over to Minnesota State Mankato. Talk about that one.
Tough one. It's they're going to be really good. They did a good job of pressing us and denying us some attacking opportunities, and we kind of came out a little slow, and it was a tough day. It was a real tough day. We learned a lot from that game, and I think we've definitely gotten better. And then we turned around. We played Fort Lewis, who's 6th in the nation, and we scored on ourselves an own goal in the last minute and a half to lose the game. But we played substantially better, and Fort Lewis lost to Grand Valley in the Final Four last year. And they're an awesome team. They got a girl, Haley, up top, who's just terrific. And we did a great job of shutting her down and containing Fort Lewis for the most part. But we grew, and that was the great thing about it. And then we turned around this last weekend and got a couple wins, and that was big for us.
Yeah, huge wins. The Vikings knocking off Nebraska Kearney, and then Minnesota Crookston. Okay, Brandon, let's talk about your team. Some of your veteran players, some of the things that you're looking for from your group.
Well, I guess we probably need to start with Kate Timmons, number 7 in the back. She's just been amazing. She's played for 4 years, really has played for 4 years. Her sophomore year, kind of up and down a little bit, but just a great young woman. And her dad actually was a alum here, a football player, and just a real leader. She just does a great job. She's fantastic in the air, strong tackler, really good organizer. And then Stacy Daly, number 23 in the midfield. She's a senior. I guess like all the players now in the program, they've kind of gone through trials and tribulations, and we've really come a long way. But based on those experiences, Stacy's really stepped up and just been fantastic. Jess Perez, another defensive midfielder, number 11 for us. Again, a young woman who had an ACL early in her career, struggled to come back, and just has been lights out. I'm really, really proud of Perez. And then Erica Dahl transferred in after her freshman year at Green Bay, Wisconsin, and has been good. And then Raylan Walzak, a kid out of Minnesota. Her parents live in New York now, and she's been really, really strong. Starting outside back for us, number 14, coming in and starting for us again this year. So, yeah, the senior group is awesome. And they've really added a lot of experience and leadership. And I'll tell you, without strong leadership, you can't go that far. And having women that are willing to, step up and call people out to a certain degree, but at the same time step off the field and then pat each other on the back and say, hey, I got your back. And we're on the same team, and we're doing this to get better. It's been huge. It's been great, and it's really exciting. And I really foresee, especially after getting these wins, developing that more of a winning mentality, which, with the history of Augustana soccer, hasn't always been great. And but I think we've kind of turned the corner, and it's really exciting.
Well, it's great to see you scoring some goals here, Brandon. You got some ladies that have stepped up. Talk about them.
Oh, man, Martin Worth, she had a goal this weekend, and she started about half the games last year when Katie Chandler went down with an ACL, and she's been fantastic. Jessie Hoff, who's a junior, number 10 out of Apple Valley, Minnesota. She's just been amazing. You've probably seen the flip throws if you've watched any of the highlights. She does a flip throw, and it's really pretty spectacular. She's been off the charts. And then Mackenzie Trom, she scored a goal against Mankato. She scored a goal against Fort Lewis. That was just a rip, and she's been really, really good. Alicia Olerking scored a goal, tremendous amount of speed, kid out of Harrisburg, South Dakota. I just feel really, really good. And then, of course, we had a surprise kid who scored the 3rd goal in the Crookston game yesterday, Peyton Pry, freshman out of Sioux City, who I think she's going to be special. She's going to be really special. So, yeah, we've been scoring some goals, which we haven't quite done in years past, so makes the games more fun.
Yeah. Well, what's coming up here, Brandon, for you, and looking ahead into the NSIC?
We have Northern on Saturday, and that's going to be a dogfight. And then we turn and we play Mary at the Bismarck Community Bowl, and you never know what to expect there. There's a good chance we get 60 to 70 mile an hour gusts of wind, which are going to affect the game. But they're going to be battles, and it's going to be important that we stay disciplined and stick to our game plan, and that the ladies really step up and deliver some good leadership with those seniors like I was talking about. And then we just need some good performances, and then we need a couple extraordinary performances. And I think when you start to get that, that's when you can start to have those good runs and get to the postseason and go beyond. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Saturday's game against Northern, which is the most important game up to this point right now for us. So yeah. And it's interesting for those that are probably football fans. I kind of compare us a little bit to the Dallas Texans a little bit. They're got a lot of personnel and trying to figure out that way to win and kind of a newer program. I feel like we're similar, and we're turning the corner here a little bit, and it's very exciting, very exciting.
Well, Brandon, listen, the season is just getting rolling, a lot of soccer ahead, so good luck to you and the Vikings.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
The Augustana Sports Spotlight is next. We'll be right back.
More people are leaving BMW, Mercedes, and Lexus for Audi than ever before. For exceptional values on the Audi A4, visit your local dealer today.
There's just times that there's a lot of darkness. I would be in church looking at the PowerPoint and just thinking, this could be my funeral, this could be my pictures up there. The day came when I could actually stand in front of our congregational family and I could sing a solo, and that was so huge because I had forgotten how beautiful a song could be in my heart.
My word is celebrate. Cleaning hard water spots takes time and effort. Be sure your water softener is working properly. Your Culligan man can make sure any brand water softener is working by performing a 10-point inspection for only $19.95. That's Culligan. Better water, pure and simple.
Even the highest efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan High Efficiency water softener can. The Culligan High Efficiency saves you up to 46% in operating costs, and it makes your glasses look 100% beautiful.
The Augustana Sports Spotlight is brought to you by Culligan Water Conditioning. Coach Jason Reichmeyer's Augustana wrestling team had another strong season in 2011-12 as they posted a 13-3 dual meet record and a 6-2 mark in NSIC action. The Vikings qualified 7 wrestlers for the NCAA championships, which were held March 9th and 10th in Pueblo, Colorado. Augustana finished in 10th place at the national meet, with 125-pounder Cody Lensing leading the way with a runner-up performance. Other national qualifiers were Jason Jeremiason at 133, Chisholm Fink at 141, Nate Herda at 149, Carl Sirk at 174, Jade Docken at 184, and Sean Derry at 197. At the national meet, Cody Lensing was also awarded the Elite 89 award as the wrestler in competition with the highest grade point average. Cody has a 3.96 GPA in a biochemistry major. With a group of experienced returners and a strong recruiting class coming in, the 2012-13 season looks bright for Augustana Wrestling.
You've been watching Augustana Sportscene, a weekly update on NCAA Division II athletics at South Dakota's largest private college. Learn more about Augustana College in Sioux Falls at AUG